Previously, on the last door, Jeremiah DeVitt receives a mysterious letter from his childhood friend Anthony Beechworth. He travels to his friend's manor in Sussex, where he learns of Anthony's descent into madness and the death of his wife, Anna Beechworth. DeVitt faces the perils of the house and finally finds the dead body of his friend, who committed suicide. Anthony's final letter warns DeVitt of an unknown danger and asks him to remember his past by going back to the boarding school they both attended years back. Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Let's see. Give us each day our daily bread. Forgive us our sins, for we ourselves forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Welcome back to the last door, everybody. I hope you're excited, because there's even more mysterious things to unravel as we dig deeper and deeper into the mystery of what has gone on. I'm excited. Sure hope you guys are too. Wasn't that introduction just wonderful? Oh man. Just sets the whole tone. Now tell me, where are you? What do you see? We're just gonna go this way. Who is it? Is it Anthony? Answer me. What is she doing? Get close to her. Get close to Anna. When I count to 3, you'll wake up. 1, 2, 3. Now, wake up! Wake up! You can rest now, Mr. DeVitt. That will be enough for today. Are these sessions really necessary? I am confident that this is the best course of treatment for your symptoms. Now, did you ever see him again? I saw it. What did you see? Can you describe it? It looked like an eye. It was like an eye, perfectly rounded and dark, deep and empty, accompanied by the most horrifying, pain-filled screams I've ever heard. Inside, a complete darkness where an evil dwells deep below. Forgotten fear for human reasoning, but undoubtedly still rests deep inside our own being. In my case, that fear has already awoken. I can understand why you are disturbed, Mr. DeVitt. With your permission, I would like to consult on your case with a colleague of mine, a man I've known for many years who is more versed in modern psychological practices. I think his knowledge and experience would be very helpful in enabling us to understand your condition. If you think that would help, Doctor, I leave it in your hands. The agony grows increasingly unbearable, and if you believe this man can help, then I welcome his aid. Thank you, Dr. Wakefield. I bid you good evening. Anthony, my friend, what really happened to you? How could you have let your wife Anna die so awfully? These doubts consume my soul. I hardly remember the time we spent together as schoolmates. I confess that, beyond your enduring friendship, I can recall little of those years. Were your words a result of an increasing loss of sanity? In your letter, you wrote that someone awaits me. A warning to ward me from a genuine danger, or merely the ravings of a brilliant mind addled by insanity. Something stirs uneasily within my heart. I will not rest easily again until I go back to that boarding school and find out what secrets may lie within. Farewell, Mr. and Mrs. Beechworth. Rest now in peace. Episode 2, Memories. And now we are back to the game proper. I hope you guys liked that introduction, because I know I sure did. An old, quite damaged mailbox. And we can already look inside it. There's a postcard inside the mailbox. Dear Matthew, it has been several months and I still have heard no news from you. My brothers insist that you have abandoned me, but I am sure you remain true. I know that you would never do that to me, for I know your heart and the honesty of your eyes. I got this address from a hospital in London and pray that it reaches you safely. If that is the case, I want you to know that I'll always be waiting for you. Forever yours, Juliet Halloway. Well, cool. The Angel Gabriel, the school's emblem. I remember it being very pristine, but it looks neglected and dirty now. A stone eagle lies on the floor. It appears to have broken off from the fountain. Well, I can pick it up. Let's just go this way a little bit. A locked wooden coffin, badly finished. It seems that whoever made it was a bit rushed to finish. Good evening. I hope you're alright, and this turns out to be, indeed, a good evening. My name is DeVitt. I did not know there was a graveyard here. My pleasure, Mr. DeVitt. I am Frank Baldwin. Do not ask me why, but Monsignor specifically ordered to bury the corpses here. Why? I do not understand. Did he order to bury corpses here? Why? I do not understand. What is there to understand, Mr. DeVitt? God has forsaken this place. Ah, you don't know. Here we take care of patients. I'm an old alumnus. I used to attend this school. It's been a long time since. This is not a boarding school anymore. This building is now used as a nursing home run by nuns. A former student, eh? I've never heard of anybody in the village speak fondly of the school. They say it closed overnight, though nobody knows why. Not a lot was known about it. Excuse the interruption, Mr. Baldwin. I'll leave you to your work. Have a nice evening, alumnus DeVitt. A grave that's recently dug. This small group of graves has been haphazardly arranged. And we can go this way. It appears to be a beach. A piece of old fishing net. And what's this? Many years adrift have perfectly smoothed this flotsam into a small log. The Lost Pilgrim. A sea stack older students at the school used to climb. Somewhere up there are my initials. Okay. Yeah, and like any true-blooded adventure game, we can just wander around and pick up objects with seemingly no connection. But there will be. There will be. So let's go ahead and go back to where we started. We're gonna want to go this way. I'm not talking about the mailbox. Oh, that was the start. We were going left anyway. My bad. I got a little mixed up. Alright, let's go this way. Pardon, excuse me, sister. Good evening, sister. Good evening. I'm Mother Elizabeth. What brings you here, Mr. DeVitt? I'm a former student of this boarding school. As you can see, Mr. DeVitt, this stopped being an academic institution a long time ago, and is now exclusively dedicated to prayer and the well-being of the patients under our care. I see. Even so, may I please speak to... Mr. DeVitt, I'm afraid that we are too busy to start wasting time talking about past issues. In addition, there is little to say. We sisters arrived after the boarding school had closed down. Everybody but Monsignor, of course. Monsignor? Exactly. But you didn't answer my question. Why have you come to this place, Mr. DeVitt? I prefer to not talk about it. Or, to be honest, I prefer not to talk about it. I couldn't tell you why this place is important for me, but it is. A lot. Well, I appreciate your honesty, Mr. DeVitt. I'll allow you to stay around here. I hope I won't regret my decision. Don't worry, Mother. Thank you. Oh, okay. My coat. Let's go this way. Doctor. I'm sorry, I'm not a doctor. Pay him no mind. He has been delirious for some days. I am Miss Mary Venge, and this is my brother Matthew. Juliet, why have you left me? Why don't you answer my letters? My letters. You see, the poor man is still obsessed with his fiancée. He won't accept that she left him months ago. My poor Matthew. I'm very sorry, Miss Venge. I hope he recovers. Thank you. Ah, but we did get this postcard. Mr. Venge, I think this letter is addressed to you. Oh, thank you. Leave it with me if you'd be so kind. As you can see, my brother's too weak to read it. Well, Matthew, let's see who has written to you. Oh, it's a letter from our mother. Dear Matthew, I hope you are recovering. I wish that your beloved sister and you come back home soon. Liar. Among the baggage, I can see a packet of letters, bound by twine. Can I examine the letters? All of these unopened letters are addressed to Juliet from Matthew. Why would his sister keep them? Well, can we give them to the man? My letters! All the letters I wrote to dear Juliet! You never posted them! But why, Mary? Why would you do such a thing? How could you be so cruel? I had to do it, Matthew. You refused to see how inappropriate a match she is for you. Her only interest is in marrying someone of your status, of our family's status. It was for your sake I did this. I did it to protect you from that woman's treachery. No, you only thought about yourself, of your vanity. I can't bear to look upon you any more, Mary. Leave me be. From this day forth you are no sister of mine. You dare banish me? I who have stayed by your side all through your illness? Very well, Matthew, you will have your way. I will leave you, and then you will see how very alone you are. Farewell, brother. Thanks be to the Lord that you have come to reveal my sister's cruelty, sir. Please take this coin as a token of my appreciation. It is my lucky coin, though I hope it serves you better than it has myself. It seems there is still hope to bring my fiancée back. Well, that was awfully nice. We helped, prevented a woman from being a nasty individual. Some bandages and other medical equipment. Nothing of interest. What about this picture? A picture of Saint Camillus de Lydia, a patron saint of the sick, hospitals, and nurses. He seems to have forsaken this place. Yeah, there's a letter over here. Let's read it. A magazine entitled Weird Tales. Okay, never mind. What about this patient? Are you all right, madam? There was a rhythmic sound, like a breathing. What do you mean? It was last night. I felt an increasing pressure on my temples. Something dry and rough, like tree bark, brushed against my leg, and I saw something on the wall, like a growing shadow. I lit the lamp, and there was nothing. I am sure it was just a nightmare. Madam? The poor woman has fallen into an uneasy, fitful sleep. What about this person? He is a quite pale young boy. He is asleep. What about these people? Please, someone. Piety. I am sorry, you cannot be here. Is there some way I can help? Do not worry about it, sir. The Lord looks after each and every one of our patients. He will provide you with all the help you need. If you wish, you can pray there next to the statue of Our Lady. Don't you think she is beautiful? The Virgin listens to those in need. The gloomy statue of the Virgin Mary makes this place even more mournful than if that is possible. Well, doesn't look like I can pray. Okay. So she's just gonna cockblock us, basically. A picture of the Virgin Mary gazing at you, supposedly to portray a sympathy and compassion for you. However, she seems to look more pained and sorrowful here. Well, what's this way? I unlocked the door. Oh, okay. Let's go in this room. What's over here? I remember that we used to keep here some textbooks. Now, there's a music box. I'll take it. Yeah! What about this one? Okay, no. Is this a letter? Dear brother, I have received your letter, and I'll try to write you more frequently. I hope you are studying a lot and you feel comfortable there. We miss you a lot. When are you coming back? Father is in bed with fever and I do not feel very well, but I am on medication. Today is my birthday and I am feeling blue. It is a quiet and boring Sunday at the village. Mom is going to cook a lemon cake like those Grandma used to make. I wish we could eat it together. Write back soon. I'm looking forward to knowing how you were doing, what you were learning, how is Scotland, and so on. A big hug. I think about you a lot. Your dear sister. I wonder if there are more letters. Maybe. Like that one right there. July 15th, 1876. Father Ernest seemed unusually troubled today. Several times he paused abruptly in the middle of a lecture for no reason. even during his favorite class, theology. January 18th, 1876. Today Father Ernest was very irritable. Collins made a comment and was expelled for class for it, and even DeWitt was admonished just for reading a philosophy book. I hope Father Ernest doesn't turn his ire towards me. My father will be disappointed if I fail to get good marks. January 21st, 1876. It was very disconcerting to see Father Ernest entering class so pale and sweaty. In the middle of his lecture, he stumbled, dazed, and had to sit. January 22nd, 1876. Father Eugene taught our theology class today, even though he doesn't know the subject matter as well as Father Ernest. When we asked him what had happened to Father Ernest, Father Eugene told us he had taken ill. What worries me is that now Father Eugene is also starting to look unwell. February 20th, 1876. It has been a month since we last saw Father Ernest. We are all told that he is still sick, but if he is so ill, why hasn't a physician come to treat him? My studies are flagging, but I have taken it upon myself to read on my own. I hope this helps, as I must succeed in spite of the problems happening around us. February 23rd, 1876. It was announced this morning that the school is to close. None of us know why, and we cannot get a straight answer from the faculty. They each dodged the question, and I'm starting to think they may not know the answer themselves. Their anxiety is palpable, though they try to hide it behind a calm face. But what about Father Ernest? I hear he alone is to remain after we vacate the premises. There's a picture in the diary. It is a photograph of my graduating class. I see myself, Father Ernest, and Anthony. I do not remember the names of the others. One face has been completely scratched out. Well, that's concerning. What about this blackboard over here? There's an odd sentence written on the board. In death there is hope. In death there is life. One must seek its true nature to understand the nothing. It looks like it's been there for years, as the chalk has faded in some places. Is that all we can do here? Seems that way. Alright. So, let's go explore the other area. The stairs. A dusty old tapestry of the Virgin Mary with the baby Jesus in her arms. Can we enter this room? We can. A syringe next to a flask with the label that reads morphine. Can we take it? No, we cannot. An old mirror that hardly reflects. Good evening, sister. Sister? All this suffering, all these tears, all our prayers unanswered. What do you mean, sister? All these years entrusted to the Lord, praying, looking for a sign, for something that can give me strength. Every day I hear them cry, pray, scream, and die. And what for? Where are you, Lord? Why don't you answer me? Lord works in mysterious ways, sister. Certainly, yes, but I don't ask for much, just something to go on, a path to follow. I can't go on, not like this. Excuse me, sir. Well, is there anything else in here? On the upper shelf of the antique board, a well-worn Bible and a rosary beads gather dust. One of the humble beds where the nuns sleep. I wanted to look at the music box real quick. The music box probably belonged to one of the students. A worn out and faded tapestry of Jesus Christ. Another tapestry, though I remember from my school days the student dormitory was here. Indeed, how mysterious. Let's go in here. It's the showers. Just a couple of old towels. A broken mirror. There's a protruding piece. I removed a chunk of this mirror. There's a puddle in the shower water with something shining under the grating. I cannot see it properly. The tap of the shower. If I open the tap, the shiny object would be carried away by the stream of water. Oh, okay, yeah. So whatever it is, we can't get this yet, right? Alright. Well, I know what we need to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. This nun having a crisis of faith needs a miracle. So let's put the coin in the music box. Oh, what a beautiful melody. It reminds me of my youth when I was a vibrant and full of purpose. I knew my path then. Oh, may God bless you, for you have given me the sign I was looking for. And now she's out of the way, so we can go here. A lot of dry leaves have accumulated in a hole in this rusty pipe. They are blocking the water stream. The hole has very sharp and rusty edges. If I try to put my hand in, I could cut myself. Well, we're going to dull that. I blunted the sharp edges of the pipe. Now I need not fear being cut. Okay, now there's nothing to impede the water stream. But we have a net. The net should catch anything coming down from the pipe. Indeed. Can we take the syringe yet? No, we cannot. I know that we need it, but it's right there. And now we can turn on the tap water. It is only a puddle of water now, so let's go get our shiny object, whatever it may be. Ah, the fast forward option is so lovely. I love it. The net has caught the shiny object. And what is it? It is a tear. It is a glass tear, probably once belonging to a piece of jewelry. Well, we know where that should go, if you know your theology a little bit. This guy needs piety, and there is a statue of the Virgin Mary. I have placed the glass tear in the hollow of the Virgin's cheek. It seems that it fits perfectly. And now let's use the mirror on it. Oh, our mother is crying? Oh my lord, what does this mean? What have I done? What have we done? And she ran away. In the eyes of the fervent devotee, it could look like a real tear. And we shone moonlight on it, and so that she freaked out. Now we can talk to this man. You must help me. What can I do? What's wrong with you? There is little time. I tell them about my pain. I describe the unbearable and endless pain, yet they do not listen. They pass me by without even looking at me. They say that they are praying for me, but it does not cure my ailment. But, sir, I know, but I beseech you, you will be saving me from a horrible torture. I will be eternally indebted to you. I understand. Your request is terribly hard for me. I guess I could find the courage to help you. I understand the magnitude of what I am asking. God bless you, sir. I do not know how I can show my gratitude. What I need you to do is, without the nuns noticing, to try and get an amount of morphine enough so I can be embraced by the deepest of dreams, and in that way, stop the rhythm of my heart. Alright, well, we do know where morphine is, and we chased away the nun already, so we should be able to get it. Let's go already. Okay, well, no, there's a nun here, so let us speak with her. She is praying fervently. One of the humble beds where the nuns sleep. Okay, well, I thought we could talk to her or something. Can we grab the morphine anyway? A syringe next to the flask with a label that reads morphine. Oh, okay, I can't just take it. Okay, okay, guess my memory was a little off there. I swear you had to do something else. He's gone. There's a note on the bed. Well, read it. Baldwin lies over and over and over again. I'm not gonna just read that verbatim. Okay. Well, noises coming from inside the coffin. A grave recently dug. Where's that Baldwin guy? Is he at the beach? Huh, no, but there's something else. A nun's habit and walking stick. These no doubt belong to the nun I spoke to by the window, but where did she go? She's gone. She left behind her clothes. Is she the flying nun? Alright, well, we're looking for the gravedigger now. Because if I remember correctly, his name was Baldwin. This fella right here. Tell me about the Monsignor. Cannot rightly say. After all these years, I have never seen the man. Who knows? Maybe he does not exist. I should let you get back to work. Excuse the interruption, Mr. Baldwin. I'll leave you to your work. Have a nice evening, alumnus de Vit. It looks like his toolbox. I wonder if there's something useful in it. Okay, well, I thought that's what we were supposed to do. Huh. Okay. No. I feel like I'm missing something, and I can't remember what it is. I'll figure it out. Maybe the head nun will give me information. Okay. Do you take care of patients here? Did you say that you cared for patients? Of course, Mr. DeVitt. We tend to both the physical and spiritual needs of those in our care. Did you say the Monsignor already lived here when this venue was still a boarding school? Indeed. He still was priest and professor before he became Monsignor and started to lead the place. Could I talk to Monsignor? I'm afraid that's impossible. Monsignor has left strict instructions that he not be disturbed, not even by any of the sisters. Okay, what about Mr. Baldwin? Who is Mr. Baldwin? Monsignor instructed me to take him on as caretaker. Many of the sisters find him a bit strange, but he performs his work well and complains little. Mother Elizabeth, Mr. Baldwin told me that lately a lot of patients are dying. What is happening? Sadly, the Lord is taking many of these unfortunate souls. Thank you, Mother. I will leave you with your duties. I assume that this is where he is. Yeah, I'm not allowed in there. Okay, now, since I talked to her? Okay. Let's see. The only other thing I can think of is trying the actual coffin itself. What in heaven? I cannot open the coffin with my own hands. The lid is nailed. Huh. How about now, mister? Okay, the only thing I can think of is using the log on it. The log is too soft even to use as a lever and open the coffin. I swear I've done everything so far. Yeah, okay. Mr. Baldwin is a liar. Knew that. What about this woman? Will she have anything to say now? Okay, no. How about you, sir? Nothing. Huh. Okay. She's praying fervently. Okay, the only thing I can think of doing now is checking the toolbox one more time since I've checked the coffin. It looks like his toolbox. I might be able to take a look if I keep him distracted. Okay, there we go. I just had to check the coffin first. Okay. Tell me about this place. Well, the construction of this building was ordered by an Episcopal bishop of Aberdeen in 1805. Tell me about Aberdeen. It was the place where I was born and raised, one of the biggest cities in Scotland. And there we go. Boom, tool. Oi, you seem a bit distracted. Oh, do not worry about it. Tell me about Mother Elizabeth. She's pretty strict, I can tell you that much, Mr. DeVitt. Do not think she likes me very much either. I will leave you with your work. There we go. That puzzle could have been a little better. I already had a general idea of what I was supposed to do. But now, I can open this. The darkness of his eye! His body is petrified. He has a look of sheer terror in his eyes. Oh my God! But what has happened? Talk! Talk to me! Mother Elizabeth is trying to make him come to his senses. Okay. So, if Mother Elizabeth isn't by the front door anymore, then we can hurry our little, pixelated butt to the unguarded door. And the thing that she was writing. These are the papers which Mother Elizabeth was working. A large, bright, and ornate key, which I'm going to take. Of course, the door is locked. Boom. Can enter the room. Don't look into his eyes. Seems we are in the past or something. Because the deepest darkness dwells in his eyes. Come in, my son. Did you think you could hide these books from me? They are just classic philosophy books, Father. Plato and Aristotle. Silence! Instruments of falsehood, you mean? Fallacies coming from the snake. Now, son, get on your knees and raise your arms. Apologize to the Lord. Pray to the Lord. Oh dear. That was definitely a hallucination. It is Latin, malium in se, evil in itself. A strange eye-shaped symbol. Whoa. Spooky. Cracks in the glass. Eye of the bird. What does it mean? A set of crucifixes next to the door. Lord, your eyes burn me. I don't deserve mercy nor forgiveness. Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul. Who are you sending me? Is death to whom you are handing me over? Has my hourglass already run out of sand? Father Ernest? Ernest. It's been many years since I last heard that name since... Oh, I see. Father, I'm here to be able to remember. You have to help me, I beg you. Pleas, entreaties, petitions, praying, torment, exemption. Past times bring us just misfortune and pain. Father Ernest, I was one of your students. One of my old students, you say. It's only the Lord who teaches us. We must all follow his ordinances and disciples. Get closer, son. Come and pray next to me. This makeshift altar is coated in a dense layer of wax. The candles, having almost burnt out, only barely illuminate the room. A creepy image of Christ crucified. Inexplicably, it has a dark cloth covering his head. The walls are completely covered with crosses, a mentally ill act. He has a large burn covering his eyes. He is completely blind. Despite his decrepitude, extreme thinness, and paleness, I can still recognize Father Ernest. But he seems very far away, like in another world. Glory be to the Father, and the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be. Now, my son, tell the Lord which one is his voice, the sharp sword, the wise quill, or the delicate petal. I'm gonna say the wise quill. The wise quill. No, no, no! You're enveloped by sin. And now, my son, tell the Lord which one is the holy path, the wise virtue, the endless blame, or the blessed penance. The wise virtue. No, no! Your soul lives embraced by the darkness. And now, my son, tell the Lord who are you, the faceless pilgrim, the gate guard, or the lost seaman? The faceless pilgrim? No! There is no salvation of the Lord for your soul. Now leave me alone. I have to purify my soul. So he chases us out, but we're going to go right back in, because he is blind. An old razor blade stained with blood. Gonna grab that. Oh, gross. I'm gonna pick this up as well. Dear God in heaven, I feel for you. Your light is in my eyes. I will burn them for you. Dear God in heaven, I feel myself in you. Dear God in heaven, I hate myself and you. My blame is in your heart. I will burn myself for you. Can we still talk to him? I know you were there. Didn't you hear me? Get out of my room. Okay. Despite being blind, he preserves good hearing. I must be more careful when moving. Well, that's okay, because I got a razor. Using the wooden stump as a handle, I can use this to cut. And now, I have a cutting tool. And there's one thing that we can cut for certain. Where the dormitories should have been. So now we go in and experience what is possibly another hallucination. And finally, our expert on philosophy, Jeremiah DeWitt, shows up. Where were you, my friend? We have been looking for you. Well, as I was saying, tonight is the perfect moment for our next meeting, but I suspect that someone outside our group is secretly surveying us. Who is it, Anthony? My dearest friends, it is Professor Glenn. Do you mean Father Ernest? Certainly, no doubt about it. Therefore, dear colleagues, I have decided to change the venue for tonight's meeting. Have you noticed the lounge behind the small door of the classroom? I have believed convenient to borrow the key for our necessities. You already know, at 12 o'clock you will find that door opened, and I will be inside the lounge. That is it, my dearest colleagues. Vedete ne esque que escat. I remember that. In this furniture we used to keep some of our personal belongings. Now it is empty. The walls are in complete disarray. I could probably punch through it if I tried. I remember that this is the bed where I used to sleep when I was a student here. Oh, cool. I can go to sleep. Mr. Rabbit was jumping through the forest in a warm spring afternoon. When going through a bush, Mr. Rabbit ran into Mr. Wolf, Mr. Vulture, and Mrs. Snake, who were having a heated argument. Mr. Rabbit, curious, asked him, "Dearest, why are you arguing in this beautiful and cheerful spring afternoon?" Mr. Wolf answered politely, "What we are trying to decide here is who of us will have the pleasure to eat you up." Creepy. Mr. Rabbit, really scared, said, "But I do not want to be eaten. I want to live." To which Mrs. Snake answered, smiling, "That is impossible to happen, Mr. Rabbit, since we all, both of you and us, are going to die sooner or later. Don't you think so?" Mr. Vulture added, "Mrs. Snake is right. We should stick to the issue at hand. It is getting late, and as you see, we do not agree. Do you want to help us decide, Mr. Rabbit? Who would you suggest as the one to eat you?" After thinking about it for a while, Mr. Rabbit came up with an idea and carefully said, "I got it. Why not to organize a race? The first who arrives to the forest clearing will have the privilege to eat me. No doubt Mr. Wolf can run at high speed, but Mr. Vulture can go flying and avoid any obstacles, and I'm sure that Mrs. Snake knows all the shortcuts within the forest. What do you think?" There are silhouettes in the mirrors that are kind of spooky and ominous. Like that one right there, oh my god. The three predators agreed that it was fair, so they started the race and then quickly disappeared. Mr. Rabbit, happy to trick them, started running at high speed in the opposite direction of the predators, who, eager to prove their worth, didn't realize the trick. This is like a long hallway of nightmares with a very kind of unsettling, light-hearted story. Mr. Rabbit was far away from there, and he finally felt safe, happy and proud of his cunning. But suddenly there was a loud bang! The earth shook, frightened birds flew, and everything went dark. The end. And yeah, that's probably, unsettling. The Impossible Love. There is something I kept to myself for a long time. And the thing is that I love you. I have always loved you. Since the first time I saw you, since the first time I felt your frozen hands. It's Mr. Beechworth in a corpse. Each time I move away from you, I miss your glassy, empty, dead eyes. I miss your rough hair, your grayish skin, your stench. But our love just cannot be. It is an impossible love. The end. David has weird dreams. No, not again. How long have I been sleeping? What was that all about? In the nightmare I found a place in my memories. The wall... Yep. Well, the only thing we can do now is to go downward, right? Maybe the patient who disappeared is back. Doesn't seem to be. But there's this. In my disturbing nightmare, I was brought to this spot. It is the trapdoor I saw in my nightmare. From here spouts a horrible stench. There is something down there. Did you see? Did you see? It was there, just in front of me. That thing. It was screaming. He shakes uncontrollably, his body racked with pain, and there is only one way to end his suffering. The decayed corpse of a young woman. It seems as if she'd been devoured by an animal. The stretchers used to carry corpses here, but who is behind all of this? The walls are splattered with dried blood. Wow. Let's go ahead and at least give the guy his morphine. Rest in peace. Didn't want to leave that poor guy hanging. He must have been dead a week, still bearing the expression of horror. Well, all we can do now is go right. Punctual as always, David. Now all that remains is to introduce our guest. You may come in now, Professor. Father Ernest! Do not worry, my friend. I invited him to join us this evening. The professor genuinely shares our curiosity, and who better to complete our group than one of the most renowned theologists? Moreover, we mustn't ban those who are willing to explore beyond the veil. The moment we have long awaited has now arrived. Please, all of you, take a seat and we shall begin the procedure. Soon shall the door be open, and then may we finally see what lies beyond. Now, I ask that you close your eyes. You will feel a momentary prick as I inject you with the serum. Even after all these years, I have not forgotten your voice. You are the fourth witness. I remember now what happened. What is that we saw? The eye of the bird. Malleum and Chay. What happened to us? What is it that we witnessed? You must tell me! You must make me understand what my mind cannot fathom! It was our curiosity that damned us. We opened that which should not be opened. In doing so, we shorn the veil that separated our world from his. In seeking vision, we were ourselves seen by the eye of the bird. It remembers us. It looks for us. It calls us from the dark nest, from its abominable lair. All these years I have attempted to return to it, but I have no strength left. Those poor wretched creatures are too fragile. They lack the sight to return. Not one of them has. Only us, the four witnesses. Who are the other two? Where are they? They disappeared as you did. I haven't heard from any of you, but I was seized by curiosity. It absconded with my faith and deprived me of sanity. Oh Lord, forgive me, for I have sinned. Nothing remains. All that is left is surrender. Surrender to him. Gravely we have sinned, and now our only absolution is to burn in the flames. Malleum. N. Say. And then we got attacked. Were we buried alive? The adventure continues in episode 3. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I sure did. Things only get creepier and darker as we progress further and further into the dark mystery that is the last door. And with that, I think this episode is wrapped up, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.